Hello YouTube vintage camera collectors and restorers. Here I've got this Canon AE-1, and what I noticed about, first of all, there's some grit in the viewfinder, which is basically, it's the mirror damper right here. Some had fallen off, some of it stuck to the mirror. That's very typical of these. We're going to replace it with some stick-on craft foam in there like that. But first of all, we got to get this out of here. Now, there's no way of not making a mess. It just really isn't. So what I do is I'm just going to let it kind of fall off in there. As long as we don't fire the shutter, it's not going to give us any kind of a hassle. I mean, you could just take it here and leave that piece off. I don't want to do that. It actually quiets the mirror and keeps it from shaking. I'm just going to take some rubbing alcohol here, and we're going to clean where, if I don't spill this on me. There we go. We're going to clean up here like that. You could tear the camera down a bit to get a little better access, but you don't need it. I can tell you, the guys that used to do these light seals at the camera stores back in the day, they didn't tear it down either. They did this. There are a couple of interesting camera stores in town where I lived. I think the favorite was Joe's Camera. It was just like a one-owner store, and Joe had come from Eastern Europe, and that's when it was hard to come here from Eastern Europe. And he had kind of this appreciation. Just gotta get in the way here, sorry. He loved Zenit cameras, the Russian ones. So what we're going to do is just going to do an approximation how big this is. Give it a snip. And how wide. I mean, you can buy a light seal kit for this, but this will work really good. We're going to cut this in half. So when you went to see Joe, and he talked to you all afternoon about cameras, he would say either a Zenit or a Praktica. He was big on those. So now all we have to do is get it in there and then press it down. I'm just going to take the backing off here. And then there's actually Photomaster, which is the last remaining real camera store in this area, and it's the original owner. And this guy came here from Japan, and he just was like, if it wasn't a Pentax or a Nikon or Canon, don't bother. Yeah. We're just going to have to massage this into the channel. Sometimes you have to glue these in, but that's going to be okay. And I'm just going to test fire it after dumping the goo out, like that. We'll just test fire the shutter. We're on bulb. I don't know, 1 second. Yeah. Look at that. Goes up against that new damper and comes right down again. Might just need a little adjustment because there's a channel there, but That's what you want to do to make it easy. And that old foam basically turns to muck. Couple things, clean the lens up. I'm going to clean the mirror a little bit better. It's pretty bad. Actually, we could do that. I'm just going to pick the goo up off of it first of all. And then there's another camera place. And the guy was German. And he was just completely in to the old German cameras, Even the ones that weren't made anymore. That was Here's camera. Yeah, that's really goopy. This has probably been like this quite a while. What I want to do now is I take my clean cotton cloth, my unused handkerchief, and just gently wipe that mirror off. And they were into the Leicas, the Hasselblads, the Bronicas. Anyway, I actually sold these at Kmart. And I like them all. Oh, look at that. That's really nice now. That's really nice. Now, the second issue I have, and you can see how loose this back is on the Canon AE-1. And also another little thing to notice here, especially on the door, there's pieces of the light seal stuck to the door and it's gooey. And it's the seal that goes all around. There's a channel here. There. Actually, the seal on the ends is fine. It's actually still stuck right in there. And it's not gooey. There we go. Here's what we gotta do. You can buy a pre-made kit or you can get some of this craft foam that I use. It's the same stuff. And you cut thin strips. The first thing you've got to do though is get the old channel out of there. I got a couple little tools that I've got here. You use a very thin screwdriver, but just scrape it out of there first. And don't let it fall into the lens, into the cloth shutter if you can help it. There's actually not much of it even left. That's what happens to these now. To get this thing out, you're going to need a little bit of lighter fluid. You don't want any lighter fluid on that. Okay, so we're going to be really careful here. But sometimes you do drop stuff. So what I'm going to do, slide the camera over. So I'm going to take it off of the edge of the door first, any of the stuck seal that's on there. And this is why the door is kind of loose, because there wasn't any of that original foam left in there. And I see most of it stuck to the door. But you know what? That's not that big a fault. I mean, this is a camera that was built in the very early 80s. Well, there are some earlier versions, but let's say 1980 just to be somewhere in the middle. Yeah, there's quite a bit of this goo on there. It's funny, I see this foam inside tape recorders and receivers and stuff like that too. And same thing happens to it. In some older cameras, they used cloth and felt, and many times it's still good in a 1950s camera. But in a 1970s or 80s camera, no. It's done. So let's get this off the best we can. When the Q-tip just slides along easily, you know you got it off. So there, that's that. We may do the end seals, but let's do these first and see how the door closes. Otherwise, you're going to get light showing up on your pictures, so to speak. Let's see if we can get into there a little bit. No, it's not. It's just going to make a big mess. Just get a really small fine screwdriver. Right here, you'll see this on a lot of cameras. That's the switch that resets the film counter. So you don't want to put a new felt on there. So I've been cleaning out the channel here where the light seal was, well, what was left of it. Pretty icky. See, it's just like crust. Now, it actually wouldn't hurt even to have some of it in there, but yeah, see, it goes all the way around there to there. This is pretty important, especially at the ends. That makes a real difference in keeping light out. You won't have to do this for quite a while afterwards. Some of them, like some of the Praktikas that I like and work on, I never have to do this because it's like a piece of, I don't know what you call it, almost twine that's in there. It's something else. It does not degrade. I tried to change one time, and whatever they've got that glued in with, I don't know, but it wasn't easy to get it out. It wasn't worth changing it. So that's got most of it out of there. So let's line the camera up. So I just pre-cut this piece. So it should be long enough. We're going to have to trim it there. I see some more gunk in here. Depending how the light shines on this. I'm just going to blow it out. That's better. Okay. So what we do is, we'll start at this end, and we'll take the backing off. That. And sticky side down. Into the channel you go. Once you get it started, it's pretty easy. Once you get it, don't peel all the paper backing off. Kind of do it as you go, if that makes any sense. Kind of lost the end there. You know, depending on the camera, there's some cameras like I've actually done this on some Mamiya cameras. Before I knew what I was doing, or maybe I did know what I was doing, I don't know. I took the seal out of the channel. I never replaced it. I was just like, oh, okay, got that gunk out of there. And I took all kinds of pictures with that camera, and I never had an issue with it, with light leaks or anything. So it's in like that, and to press it all the way in, you'll see the camera will be really tight to close the first couple times. And see now, you just have to like trim the ends with some scissors, like that, and then tuck it in. I hope you can see it alright. Tuck it right in there. And then we can just actually, when we do the end seal, we can trim that one. So that's how you do just one channel worth of them. Now it's going to be like no vibration at all. And it will compress, you know, after a little while of being closed. Okay, so I did the top channel and the bottom channel with new foam for light seals. And I was looking at this here, this on this hinge of the door, and it's sticky, pretty sticky, and not doing a lot of sealing. So this is, might as well just do it, and then the camera's good like for another 50 years. The only thing that's going to get the base of that off is a little bit of the lighter fluid. Yeah, just don't light my pipe near here. Saturate it a bit. Now it looks like there were two different strips of seal, but actually what I think happened is more of a transference between the surfaces. Actually, you don't even have to get it all off, just get it even enough that the new one will stick, because you just need it to stick. Like that. Let's just see if that'll scrape off a bit. I don't want to go gouging the metal, you know. Is this actually a piece or not? No, it's not. We just need a little more cleaning on that. I've usually had pretty good luck with homemade light seals. Well, actually, they've always worked. Sometimes you gotta make adjustments so that the door opens and closes nicely, but I'm just doing a final cleaning here with a little bit of alcohol to get the residue off. See that? That's just ick. There's the end of the other seal. That channel as clean as we can get it. That foam back in the day was considered almost a miracle, as it was so easy to apply and it worked so well. But now looking back, well, it worked 50 years. How much do we need here? Now, it looks like to me like the original seal was actually on this piece here, and it goes over that. That would make the most sense, and then it melds in with these other seals. So it needs to be this wide. I'm actually left-handed, but I think I can cut with my right hand. I don't want to get my mitt constantly in the camera. Okay, so there it is. Take that off of there. Butt it up against there. This stuff is like really sticky. It's like uber foam, you know. I gotta do a little extra trim here. And then we'll just smooth it down. Look at that. Now it's going to be a little stiff to close. Oh, actually not. Feels good. No rattle in the back. That's what we're after. No rattle in the back. So what we just need to do is a little cleaning up. Get all the grit out of there. This is a cloth shutter on these, by the way. Just like a Pentax. And this one's in really nice shape. So that's great. This is going to be a nice camera to shoot with. I'm kind of eager to shoot with this one. I haven't had an AE-1 in my hands for a few years. Anyway, we'll do some shooting and get back to you.